Hello and welcome to a quick video. In this quick vid, I want to talk about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. More specifically, how wanting to do one thing and then suddenly wanting to do a completely different thing completely derailed this game, which shows in the end result. The decision to make SSKTJL a spin-off of the Batman Arkham series and a sequel to Batman Arkham Knight, and to then basically turn it into its somewhat own unique thing, has proved to be a big mistake. Trying to ride the coattails of the Arkham series, which was always traditional single-player action-adventure oriented, to then revert to an action-adventure, looter-shooter, with the accent on the latter, live service game, was asking for trouble. Straddling the line between traditional action-adventure and looter-shooter, the combat and progression systems borrowed from looter-shooters, which of course doesn't align with everyone's expectations for a story-driven experience. Why, for starters, didn't they make it its own unique standalone game with a focus solely on but one aspect? Secondly, because it once tries to be two things, it's neither one of them well executed, and the aspect on which they wanted to focus the most, the looter-shooter live service aspect, is pretty underwhelming. Solid shooter gameplay mechanics quickly turn into a monotonous slog. The game clearly started off on a different note than on which it ended, and it's painstakingly noticeable. Mixing live service elements with a single-player campaign, they led to the live service model clash with narrative focus, creating an awkward blend. While the Killing the Justice League premise is a potentially impactful plot point, it felt rushed and underwhelming in execution. Yes, it features an open world, however, one that feels limited, lacking the depth and engagement seen in other open world games. Now, while the promise of the new content may sound good in theory, unless the new characters and locations fundamentally change the game mechanics, what's the point? SSKTJL is a clear result of wanting to do one thing and then suddenly wanting to do a completely different thing, hence ending up with a miserable failed hybrid wherein either one of the aspects get well executed, ultimately leaving everyone underwhelmed. Is it a bad game? For some, yes. For some, no. And for others, it's okay and or just acceptable. One thing that's for sure is that it didn't manage to deliver its full potential, which is a pity and a shame. SSKTJL is another example of how studio interference, read the meddling of money, greedy XX who have no real feel what the market, is a bad thing. Anyway, this was my take on the matter. What's your take on this? Perhaps you disagree with me, or you just don't care. Either way, let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time.